Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
We're good?
Can everyone hear us?
Can everyone hear us? Amandita, 5, 4, 3, 2. Leo, Amandita, everybody. Perfect. There we go.
I'm gonna do it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again. Welcome to the people that joined us in the rain or shine. The Eaton Courage, rain or shine. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for joining us also online. We're very excited to share with you all the things that are coming up for the 5th annual Dia de los Muertos Benefit Festival. Don't laugh at me, girl. Don't laugh at me. I'll turn the camera. Just joking. Carla's getting the chat set up and ready. Ashley, perfect. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Again, Amandita, Leo, thank you. We're waiting for Lauren and other folks to join. So Carla's just gonna give you all a brief history of what the Dia de los Muertos Benefit Festival is. We have new partnerships, we have new friends, and a lot of community news that you are going to love, I'm sure. So Kyle, take it from me. I will be on the chat.
Thank you, everyone. How you doing? I hope you can hear me with this mask on. We're just welcome to this first stakeholders meeting. I'm really excited to kind of get everybody together. It's been a very long time kind of building to this. As you can hear, this is our 5th year going. Very excited about that. To kind of give you an idea, so we represent Dia de los Muertos DC, which is an organization founded to basically promote the customs and culture of the history behind Day of the Dead, in a sense to bring everyone together in inclusion and in creativity and community. Our main focus is to focus on everyone that we're all made up, we're all one people. A lot of times we kind of forget that. And if our saying is if we are the same in death, then we must be the same in life. So that's what we try to promote to all of our friends, family, and so forth. For all of you who are not familiar with Day of the Dead, basically it's a holiday celebrated in Mexico and has reverberated out to many different countries around the world. And it is celebrated by families and communities throughout. And what we do is we pay homage to all of our loved ones who have passed away, and on November 1st and November 2nd. And utilize those days to kind of come together collectively and really truly remember those lives. And the belief is on those specific days, those individuals come back and they visit us, and they fellowship with us, and they listen to their favorite music, they eat their favorite foods, they do a lot of their favorite things, and it's all about not forgetting. That's a big thing in terms of a lot of different cultures, that once things are typically forgotten, a lot of times people believe that they're gone, just like any type of culture. And so it's a really big holiday push to really make sure that does not happen. Okay, I'm trying to get my PowerPoint working for us. It doesn't seem to be going the way I would like it to. 1 second. One moment.
Over there, I'm working on the presentation. Hi, good morning. Chris, Cindy, Laura.
it's always when you really get in front of everybody, when the presentation is like, no.
It does not want to work, right? That's how it always is.
I don't have my glasses, but I can see Kyle's sweat drop like.
Yeah, you know?
I want to put him in the sky.
There are always lights and IT issues.
Right?
Oh, can you see that from your side?
Yes, but the light is like too bright, so I can't see the presentation.
No, on the screen.
Oh, okay, yes, I can see it, that's fine. I can see it on the side, you're sharing screen.
All right, perfect.
Perfect.
So let's see if they'll let me do this here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. All right, so I kind of gave you guys a history of the Day of the Dead, and so we're going to kind of transition on into like the trajectory of our festival. So we actually started out in 2017. Very hard to believe that it's been that long. And we started off in a very small area in Northeast DC at the Fifth Hotel Pop-Up Shop, where it was located on a Union Social, located on Florida Avenue. And since then, we've been kind of growing every year. To give you a little history about what we do in our festivals, what we've been able to do is the idea kind of came up of we wanted to do something around Day of the Dead. Following that, at the time in 2017, two major things happened. So there were earthquakes in Mexico. In Mexico, there was the Hurricane Maria that struck Texas, Florida, a number of other states in the country. And so at that particular point, we were getting ready to gear up to do our first festival. We're like, you know what? There's too much going on in the world. We have to do something. And so that's where we kind of transitioned into more of a nonprofit fundraising event. So that for that first year, we donated to those two nonprofits that contributed to those causes. And since then, we've been really focused on immigration. All right, you want to talk a little more about our nonprofits?
Yes. So the two nonprofits that we've been working with are the Young Center. So the Young Center takes care pretty much of all the legal situations, paperwork, and whatever that they might need for all the children that are crossing the border alone. That are also not only just trying to immigrate here, but also children that are being trafficked. So they're taking care of all those 2-year-olds, like 5-year-olds, like little kids that are going to court to hearings. So they take care of all that. They're a great organization. And also, sorry, I almost forgot. So with the Young Center, they also have a program called the Waymaker Foundation, the Waymaker program, and that program actually doubles up all the donations. So every dollar that you donate doubles up. And we will be sharing more information about like the impact and like what is to donate, like, you know, if we donate $100, what does that mean for like, you know, trainings or child advocacy, or they're very transparent and awesome on how they distribute all the funding that they get. Rostros Sabios is a nonprofit that was created in Mexico 5 years ago, but about a year ago, finally got the status of a 501c3 in Mexico. And this organization works in marginalized communities, providing top-notch education services, medical services, and all around like developing services for like growth in every area of children's lives. So, you know, the most important stage in a human life is between 0 and 5 years old. So we want to make sure that they have the food that they need, the medical care they need, great education, you know, so that's what Rostros has been doing. And we're very proud to say also that now Kellogg's have joined the effort, and they're donating 3 tons of food each month, not only for the centers that Rostros is helping in the community, but for the whole municipio, which it will be like almost like a municipality over there. So they're doing programs of distribution for this, so that's pretty cool. Also, Office Depot has donated supplies, Home Depot, Nestle, and more are joining to the fight against hunger and lack of resources for the next generation.
Thank you, Art. So the next thing we're going to do is kind of talk to you guys about what's happening this year. And the main purpose is we really want to kind of bring everybody out in the community together to really just showcase again, the holiday itself, and do a lot of different things for the community and those in need. So the first thing that we're really gearing up to doing, so we've kind of grown and transitioned throughout the years, and actually I jumped slides on you, I'm sorry about that. We went from Pimp Town Pop-Up Shop 2017 over to Congressional Cemetery, where we froze our tails off in negative 30-degree weather. In 2019, we were our lead sponsor was the Eaton Hotel, and they granted us space in this lovely hotel where we're currently broadcasting from, and it really kind of helped us out a lot in really expanding our platform, bring a lot more people and awareness to the event, and just showcasing those causes, which was really huge. And then last year, of course, we were all unfortunately stuck either in the house or away due to COVID. So all of our events kind of went virtual at that particular point. And so we actually were very lucky to team up with the Mexican Institute of Culture to actually showcase and do the festival live, broadcast live from there last year. And we actually had a huge listing of artists who we'll share with you a little bit later who participated last year, and we're hoping will come back and join us this year. And really, really excited about that. And then this year, proposing, permit permitting, we're looking to be out on Pennsylvania Avenue and to do our festival grounds and also a parade and so that we'll kind of get into momentarily. So we talked about our nonprofit partners. And here are some of the highlights. So this year, again, we're trying to do a number of things. The biggest thing last year, when Trump was in office, he actually put into sanction that there would be a holiday on November 1st that was made out for those who were killed by folks who came by immigrants. And we felt it was really, really kind of a tarnish to the Dia de los Muertos holiday, because it's complete opposite of what the holiday represents in terms of family, community, love, unity. And so to basically just pinpoint one element of something on it from a negative perspective, it really just kind of was a slap in the face to the holiday, all those who celebrate it, and all those who just really look forward to that holiday to remember their loved ones, those who are no longer with us. And so that's why we really, really felt the need to petition Congress to make Day of the Dead a national holiday here in the U.S. The reason we feel that that's very important is because there are a number of us who are naturally born in America, a number of us who migrate from all over the world. And if you recognize, if you know a little bit more history about the Day of the Dead holiday, it really has a lot of similarities to a lot of customs and cultures from around the world. We all celebrate, we all have our own forms of altars. We all have our own form of remembering our loved ones who have passed along, whether that's at a funeral, whether that's at a candlelight vigil, and there's a number of different customs around the world that kind of share in those similarities with that. Because we feel as though we gain our power and spiritual energy from our ancestors. We are a combination of who they were and what they represent and all the impacts that they have left on this world. And so there's a huge, huge, huge culture in making that a reality. And so we really feel as though continuing with all the stuff we've been going through over the last few years, with all the grief, all the folks who've lost to gun violence, to COVID, accidents, to cancer, the list goes on, that is really powerful for us in this country to really understand that we don't have to be afraid of communicating about death, right? It's something that we all must go through at some point in our lives. And the problem is when we do lose people, we tend to just kind of shrink away. It's not in our culture as Americans or whatever your label is, it's not in our culture to open up about that, to seek help, seek guidance, to go out into the community and welcome people in to help you heal. And because of that, you start seeing so many different things reverberate from all of that pain, all of that grief, and we get caught in that, and we don't know how to get out of it. And so that's why we feel as though sharing these customs like this, forcing people and encouraging folks to really come out of their shells, open up, and kind of understand that we're one community, right? Like we said, going back into that statement I made at the very beginning of the meeting, is that, if we are one in death, we must be the same in life. It just kind of brings us back, strip away all the differences that you can kind of put labels on. At the end of the day, we are humans, right? That's the one thing that we all share in common, and we share this globe. And so at the end of that, we all have to recognize that no matter how much money you have, no matter where you come from, no matter what culture you're from, no matter what religion you practice, again, rudimentary, excuse me, at the very base, we are human, and so we're all family, and Daily Day is all about family and welcoming not just the folks who are from your blood, but from your community, from your world, right? We share in foods, we share in music, we share in activity, we share in teaching and education, and these are things that we must pass on to our generation currently and the generations that follow us. And so that's why we really feel as though it's very important to have this here, and so we plan to petition Congress for that purpose. The next thing, which is really, really exciting, we are partnering with our partners at Catrina, and we are looking to beat the current standing Guinness Book World Record of the largest number of Catrinas in one place. If you don't know what a Catrina is, it's pretty much an individual dressed in a cultural outfit and with a skull painted face makeup. Okay. Currently, in Mexico, there's a current standing of about a little bit over 800 people in one place. We feel in the nation's capital, we can beat that. But it's a caveat to that, right? And this is what we're currently working on. Because we want to create bridges versus kind of ostracize. It's not our goal to simply just say, you know what, this small town in Mexico was only able to get 800 people out. We just want to squash their record and so be it. We don't want to do that. We want to create the bridge and work with them simultaneously to create a new record. So they would be together, exactly. So they would be gathering in Mexico. We would be gathering here in the city. And our numbers would be working side by side with the Guinness Book to combine our numbers to create that new record and do that a live stream virtually. That's something I'm really excited about. And so that's currently in the works. And so you'll hear more about that later on. The next thing you'll hear about is we're trying to lead off a Catrina parade. So after you have, let's say, hopefully 1,000 plus Catrinas gathered for the record, we would then proceed to go into a parade down Pennsylvania Avenue, down to the festival grounds. And in this parade, you'd see, and you could lead it off, you would let off by the Catrinas. You'd be followed by a number of different organizations, different groups around the city, politicians. We're working on a Festive Day parade float. Hopefully we'll be ready in time for that parade. And a whole lot of other people we're hoping to get in for that time period. And also just members from the community, the city. This was all about. It's really just bringing folks out from the community, getting them involved, getting them engaged, and really kind of fellowship together. The next thing, of course, once we kind of get the festival live and kicking, we're going to have a lot of live art, music, performances, workshops. We'll have a community cross-cultural altar that we're working on. We were able to do that the year before at the Eaton, down on the second floor, which was really nice, our first rendition. We actually started the altar at Burning Man the August before, and actually brought it down here to the Eaton. And then last year we were blessed to be able to be in the presence of our great friend Enrique Quiros, who designed a huge altar in the Mexican Institute of Culture, which is on display during our entire live stream last year. And we're working with him again to hopefully do some magnificent things this year on location. And you'll get a chance to participate in that if you so like. And so in terms of workshops, what we've done in the past, we've had drum circles, we've had grief counseling workshops, we've kind of led off with folks kind of giving more about the history of Day of the Dead, and really kind of finding ways to really engage. For the kids, they've done a lot of altar making workshops, kind of teaching them the importance of honoring their family, their loved ones who they've already experienced at young ages that loss, and teaching them it's okay and how to deal with that, and also how to hold on to the positives of those loved ones in their lives, and really spotlight that and share it with the world. Of course, you got to have traditional cuisine, so we'll have tons of great food for everybody to enjoy. And then again, kind of just making this very, very interactive for all those who come out. So those are the main highlights of the event. The next slide, and I'm hoping, I hope my slides are going through live stream. I don't think they are. But if they're not, I hope you are listening to me and I'm not just drowning on. Sorry about that. Okay, so I kind of hinted on this a little bit. So our plan again is we plan to do this Catrina count for the Guinness Book of World Records at Union Square, which is located on the National Mall, right between Franklin and Madison, or on 3rd Street. There's a patch of grass there, so we're looking to have everyone set up, come out. You know, in the morning we'll be working with a couple different organizations to do makeup, hair, and everything else for folks who are not able to do that at home, and really kind of gather early so we can kind of get everyone painted, dressed, and ready for inspection. And then once that happens, you know, we'll kick off. They'll take photos. They'll certify what the record is at that time, and then that will be kind of like the start of the festivities for the day. The next portion of that, right after that event, what we're looking to do is transition right across the street. We look to have a stage, and we're reaching out to members of Congress, a few members of Congress to come out and accept our petition to make this a national holiday here in the country. And so we'd actually transition over from there, and that'll be the start of our parade. And we kick off from 3rd Street all the way down to Pennsylvania Avenue, and arrive at Freedom Plaza, where the festival grounds will start. So once you get there, you know, you'd have your main stage, you'd have all the activations, you'd have a number of different vendors, food vendors, a lot of different, like, you know, mechanical bull, a lot of different cool things to experience once you're in the festival grounds. And we kind of end off with that, okay? From there, you know, we look to really kind of just bring this into like a full circle, and really kind of welcome the community, thank everyone out for coming out, and just continuously grow this from year to year, as it already is an annual event, but a flagship event for the city, as we're working to pair with the Office of Radio and Television, 202 Creates and such. We're tapping on their doors and praying that they give us a thumbs up for the collaboration. So that's a description of the event. And so the main reason why we call this meeting, and again, I'm sorry for those who can't see this live, is to kind of gather everyone, encourage folks to really kind of join the activation and really kind of start from the ground up and kind of work our way to the festival. There's a tons of things that we definitely want to need assistance in, and we think it'd be really awesome for folks who really feel as though they are experts or just might want to just try their hand at one of these teams I'm going to kind of list off. Because again, there's a lot of different things, a lot of different folks in this community who are very well connected, who know how to do certain things. Again, or who just like might want to get out the house for a change and do something kind of fun, right? So I'm gonna list the teams off, and again, I apologize for those on the live stream. For some reason, my slides are not coming through properly. But I'm just gonna list them off, and we'll kind of talk a little more about them. Okay. So the first one is permitting. Of course, we are currently, like I said, the location that I have disclosed to everyone right now on Pennsylvania Avenue leading down to Freedom Plaza is currently a permit pending. We currently have one in with the National Park Service, and we are awaiting approval and looking for some feedback this week. And if we have to relocate, we can do that, and we're trying to maintain that November 6th date, if at all possible. The next one, of course, is media and marketing. So of course, you know, we do a lot of promotion leading up to this event, getting folks, you know, interested in whether that's through Facebook, that's through print flyers, that's through Instagram, all the social media platforms. And we're also going to be reaching out to a number of different local businesses in the city to get them interested and wanting them to participate. So we'll actually be going out to these businesses and kind of giving them a one sheet and say, hey guys, this is what we're doing, you know, and this is how it's going to benefit the community. This is how we think it can benefit your business. We also want to get you involved in our, want you to help us beat this Guinness Book of World Records. So if you guys send 10 or 15 staff members who you think will really be able to come out and really enjoy themselves and kind of make it a kind of a company day, like come out, let's do it, let's beat it together. And again, your business will be on all of our promotional materials. The next one, of course, is website management. So I'm going to attempt, once I finish this slideshow, which will be momentarily, to show you guys kind of like the first draft of the event website, and we'll kind of scroll through that. You'll see a combination of new information that kind of brings everything forward to this year. But then you'll also get a chance to see bits and pieces from a lot of the artists and stuff who have participated in the past. And I'll kind of get a little bit more into that as well. The next thing, of course, fundraising and sponsorships. So we can never have enough money. And the reason that is, historically for this event, everything we've brought in, we put right back into these nonprofits. So we typically don't take a profit from this. And because of that, we've been able to really grow ourselves, but also in the community. And I will say this, I'll take a time to really just say thank you for all of those over the last 5 years who really kind of just jumped in. I mean, I remember the first year, as I pointed out, at Fifth Hotel Pop-Up Shop, I think we probably had 150 people come out in total. And it was our first time really kind of doing something on that scale. And we had really great friends like Belu, Ochoa, kind of bring out, like they said Washington, and members from groups to kind of come out and support. And they did that, Geo and so forth. That was the year after. But they really just kind of said, you know what, guys, you guys are really doing something for the community. You guys are really taking a profit from it. Any way we can support, whether it's lending our talents, lending our skills, like we're in it, and we really want to just participate because we want to make sure that money gets to the people who need it the most. And they've consistently come back year after year after year after year, and we are so very thankful. Like I said, I mentioned Belu, I mentioned Jason Washington. We have Batala, we have La Marbella, we have Pedro Biaggi. We've had Diego, we've had Rock Eats, we've had Ego, Art by Ego. The list goes on. We have Leo from WAPA. So it just, we've had all our friends over at Catharsis on the Mall, and folks who have really just been very supportive of us and really kind of helped us grow, And so I just want to take time to really say thank you. And if I haven't mentioned you directly, trust me, you'll definitely get plenty of shout outs before we get done. So the next thing, of course, is going to be if folks really just want to jump in and learn how to, plan a parade and really be a part of the logistics element of that. So again, whether that's reaching out to the different organizations we want to be a part of, that's in terms of how, the actual plan from start to finish, how we're going to begin, and what is going to be the process from getting to moving people along, crowd control, and then also, bringing in and encouraging the community to create their own floats, and to bring into the parade. So this first year will be our kicker, and hopefully every year after that it'll kind of begin. And again, we really want to encourage community involvement. So not just I create a float for DDLMDC and we have a couple of vehicles out. Like we want the community and different orgs who really find a cause and a calling to be a part of this event to say, you know what, like we can build a float, right? And I do plan on hopefully towards the next couple of weeks doing a kind of float building workshop. So basically, if you want to know how to build the perfect base for your float, it doesn't have to be ginormous. Then it can be 4 foot by 4 foot, and you can kind of make it whatever it is to represent your organization or your family. And we'll kind of go into how to do that. But also, again, just finding the logistics of that parade and kind of encouraging folks around the city to really be a part of it and engage. The next thing, of course, like I said, we're getting ready to do this Catrina Guinness Book of World Records, and we're going to need a lot of help with costume, hair, makeup. So if you know folks in the community who are really interested in that, please send them our way. We'll make sure they get taken care of. Vendor acquisition and management, of course, that's food trucks, that's folks who want to sell, apparel, different kind of accessories, and so on. Talent acquisition and management. So again, I mentioned a few names before. Last year, we had about 50 artists participate. That was a combination of live art, music, and performance. So again, reaching out to those folks, encouraging them to come back out, making sure that everybody has, their contracts filled out. If they have anything in their rider, they need to make sure that they have. So whether that's, music or stage requirements, lighting requirements, making sure that's lined up on the day of the show, going to that, making sure that our artists are arriving on time, making sure they know exactly where they need to be, taking them to kind of the production room, make sure they're fed, they're hydrated, happy. We need happy artists, right? And then making sure they have everything they need. They talk to the stage crew, so on and so forth. So that's a big thing, and we always need help with that. Workshops, education, and healing. So I mentioned some of the workshops that we've offered in the past. We're definitely interested in hearing more about more things in the city that people feel like the community could benefit from. So if you have something that you might have been working on, or something you might have experienced, please let us know what it is. We definitely love to incorporate it. The more things as possible is always beneficial. Remember in 2019 when we were here at the Eaton, we showcased a video called The Impact. And it was actually, my goddaughter actually was a part of that project, but it was done, I can't remember, I think it was through Radio 1. And they had led a summer program for, inner city youth. And basically they had to come up with an idea or premise for a short documentary or movie. And so at that particular time, police brutality was really a big thing for them. We've seen a lot of people of color, lose their lives. And so because of that, they developed a fear of interacting with authority figures, and then basically talking about and having other adults kind of show them how to process that and kind of get back to a place where they can feel safe in their own community. So that was, again, if you hear what I'm saying, everything is not all about skulls, death. It's not, it's really about healing and also, like I said, understanding how to cope with the real issues in life, but transitions, right? And also do that for the community and with your community, right? It's not just me in my pocket. It's me going out and saying, hey, I need this help. Unfortunately, every year we lose so many people to suicide because they just don't have the release. They don't have the outlet to say, hey, I'm in need, I need help, right? And so instead of us adding to the people that we have to remember every year, let's get in and help them deal with that stuff now and provide that communal support. The next thing, of course, is if you're really big on altars, maybe you do some at home every year for your family. Maybe you've always been interested in creating one, learning how to do so. Again, we're going to have a team led off by Enrique Quiros. And you see, sorry, thank you, Lorenita Flores. Sorry, this mask is twisting me up a little bit. And so it's really going to be an amazing thing because we're really trying to do a huge, massive altar that everyone from the city has space to come out, leave a picture, write a note, light a candle, or bring some kind of trinket from a loved one of theirs, and just really take that time to remember, And so we really want to kind of go really big with this. So if you really are interested in that, we would love to have you. And again, I know in 2019, one of our friends and partners, Barrett Holmes Pittner, who's also another resident here at the Eaton Hotel. Check out his book. He's really, really a great perspective on altars and the need to do a cross-cultural altar, right? And he worked and created an event called Altars, where he showcased different altars from different regions of the world to kind of show the differences and similarities. And so hopefully we can probably bring them in too, but if not, just keep in mind, there's a lot of great things. And again, it doesn't all have to be one way. He made a really good point at a talk that he was doing for us a few years ago. And basically he was just stating that an altar for you, let's say for me, I'm from Southwest DC, born and raised, right? So an altar for me is not going to look the same as an altar for Art, who's from Mexico, right? There's different, I have a different flower here that might represent something more for me. I have a different type of food that might represent more for my family, type of music, type of colors, different things that are unique to me that I don't have to appropriate her culture in being a part of it or celebrating it.
And also because we're all different, so we're paying homage to our ancestors. We're doing it to different individuals or groups or people, so it falls into the same thing. That we're all the same clay, different mold, the other way around.
Correct. And then last but not least, trying to get us all here now. Let's do it like that. Perfect. And so last but not least, of course, on-site logistics for the actual festival grounds themselves. So, we'll be working through ticketing, we'll be coordinating with security, we'll be working with all the staging and making sure all the vendors and different site utilities are placed in the right places, making sure that the stage hands know what they're doing, where they're going to be set up, so on and so forth. So it's a lot of cool things, because I'm a production guy, so I think they're cool. Other people think they're busy work, but a lot of cool things that we'll be working on in order to make this thing come to life. I'm a builder, so I'm sure I'm going to have some crazy project on the side where I want, to kind of capture more of the element and do some crazy things for the public to really engage with. So again, we'll have plenty of time to kind of catch up. The main point of this first meeting is one, to kind of introduce who we are as an organization, what we're trying to support, but also to kind of let you guys know what's coming up and figure out like if, when, and how you might want to get involved. So we have a lot of cool things coming up. Please, if you're on live, drop your Instagram, your email, however you wish to be contacted within the chat. Also, if there's a particular group that you might be interested in that I've listed off, list it in there, so we know how to contact you and how to engage with you. And if you just have questions, or you just might say, hey, I don't feel like, or I don't have the capacity to really help out physically, maybe I can just simply like repost something that you guys share, a flyer or something like that, or I could tell my coworkers or folks in my community or at church or, however you choose to spend your time, about the event and what's coming up, and let people know how they can get involved. And so we're really, really excited this year. So we have a lot of things in store. Again, every year we've been kind of building and building and building. So that's been great. So what I'm going to try to do, hopefully it works with this thing here, is I'm going to attempt to show you guys kind of like a makeshift of our website here. And let's see if that works. All right. Bear with me one moment. And I hope that people can hear me with this mask on. I know that's a little crazy, but all right. So let's see what we got here. Window. Okay, yeah, that might work better. Window. Yes. All right. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone. So hopefully you can see this. Arias. Why is it doing that? It should be doing that. I haven't been on that. You tell me as I stop sharing. All right, one moment. I'll get it back up here. Boom. 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 Okay. I'm gonna give everyone a second on live stream to kind of catch up, because I know that it's a slight lag between now. Okay, I see it up here now. So this is, like I said, a combination of our current website and some of the pieces have kind of trickled in from the year before. But I just want to kind of show you kind of like the structure, and then also kind of some of the wonderful collaborators and artists who've really been helpful along the years. So I'll try to take it slow because I know it's going to be on a lag. So of course, event's November 6th, looking to kick off around noon with the Guinness Book of World Records and go all the way till midnight on that day. Got a little countdown here, so folks know how long they got until the big day. And then we also have a link here, which will be live for tickets at the top. That is not currently up to date, but that will be within the week. All right, let's see what we got. This element was kind of partially from last year. So we had an element for the virtual for folks to be able to watch live, because we weren't able to meet in person. So again, we have two platforms that you're watching from right now, either with Facebook or YouTube. And so we plan to kind of showcase certain components of the event through this platform on the day of the festivities. It won't be everything, of course, because it's a paid event. The idea is for all the ticket sales to go to the proceeds to go to those nonprofits. So this will not be a comprehensive view of the event, but you'll get a chance to kind of watch bits and pieces of what's happening live on the scene. All right, so right now we're forecasting tickets to kind of start, pre-sale tickets start going on sale on September 6th. So that is true. We gave a brief history of Dia de los Muertos. So unfortunately, you weren't able to see that slide if you were on the live, but it definitely shows it. But I'll read it really quickly because I didn't have it before. So Dia de los Muertos, also known as Day of the Dead, is a festive Mexican holiday where family and friends come together in fellowship to remember and celebrate the lives of their past loved ones by building altars, holding candlelight vigils, and partaking in the favorite foods, drinks, and items of the deceased. Additionally, the holiday celebrates the memory of children on November 1st and adults on November 2nd. Living relatives and friends gather in the streets of the communities, the homes of loved ones, and the cemeteries where loved ones have been laid to rest. Our mission is to share the true meaning and tradition of the holiday with all the cultures within the metropolitan area. Again, our causes here. So this festival serves as a community fundraiser to raise money to help reunite the children who have been separated at the border with their families. Also advocate for unaccompanied minors who cross the border alone, as well as providing support for children of marginalized communities abroad to reduce the dire need to leave their home countries and face the risk of injury, death, and or being detained in their attempt to cross the border. Again, we present the call to donate. So outside of just buying a ticket, which is direct donation, we also encourage folks in the community who choose to do a little bit more to donate here on the website. And we kind of give more information on our two beneficiaries that are so eloquently laid out earlier in the show. So I'll just list them again, which is the Young Center for Immigrant Children Rights and Rostros Sabios, de mi corazón a tu corazón.
And I forgot to say also that for Rostros Sabios, so obviously $1 is 21 pesos. So we want to call a campaign multi-impact campaign or a double impact campaign, because the way they did the campaign with the Young Center doubles of our donations, but in Mexico the dollar is 21 times more than the peso. So then your donation has 21 more hits of impact in Mexico, and it doubles something here. So also for possible sponsors, it's no small sponsors, no big sponsors, all sponsors are welcome. And we also can make sure that depending on obviously the donation and how things are presented, we can get that donation deducted from taxes through the Young Center. Hopefully next year we will be able to do the same with the Sabios de Mexico. We're just waiting for their certification, their international certification for their nonprofit.
Correct. And Art actually just mentioned one other thing. She mentioned sponsorships. And I want to bring up one more thing. So as I talked about really encouraging local businesses to kind of engage. So what we're also looking to do is, like in every year we've been kind of building, you'll get a chance to see the long list of artists we've worked with in the past. Again, a lot of them have really, most of them, if not like 98% of them, have just strictly donated their services. And if they did receive something that was maybe like $100, just to say that we gave them something, right? But it's really more about the support. But this year, again, we want to make sure that we support our community as well by empowering those artists, local artists in the community. So not just, we thank them for all this service that they provided for the last 4 years, but this year, as we grow, we hope that they can grow with us and that we can really tap into those sponsorships to really sponsor their fee, what they charge, so that they have food to eat. We all just went through, and we're still going through this worldwide pandemic. A lot of folks have been out of work, a lot of people don't have the same resources as everyone else. And so we want to kind of create a place and a space for folks to be able to have access to at least some money for a performance, or a art piece or just their engagement, as much as possible.
All around, right?
I'm sorry?
Remote healing all around, like financial healing, physical healing, all like it's just, the fact that we're going through the pandemic and then we're able to empower those artists that have been like writing with us through thick and thin. It's very important for us. I think that it's as important as the causes that we are trying to continue to support, because the community and the artists are few in the gaps, and we definitely want to make sure that we our people and our artists. And the sponsorships that we're looking to have is obviously so we can create a bigger event and fundraise and get more money, but also is the main reason to have sponsors is because we want to pay our artists.
Correct.
We want to make sure that we're not only, taking from them, that we're also putting back in their pot. And those are amazing people because right now, something might not be mainstream or commercial like that, but you will get to know them because I know they will. Yeah, our license went up. Okay, they got very intimate.
We're back, right?
Oh, yeah, so yeah, go ahead. That was the main thing, just to be able to make sure that we take care of our artists and the same way that they have been taking care of not just us, but our entire community.
Exactly. And so again, like part of that sponsorship portion, we're going to have different sponsorship levels for different organizations and companies and businesses to kind of get involved in, or also organizations. But again, it doesn't have to be a huge, contribution. So we'll have like a list of artists that we're looking to bring. And let's say that artist might charge $150 to do something. That might be a sponsorship. If you're an organization, your artist, or even as a family, you say, you know what, I really want to, sponsor this one artist or this one group. That's a way to kind of get involved. So I just want to touch on that. So I appreciate it. Of course, a donation link here. And then last year, last year, so Ari, over here, and also Pedro Biaggi were the two hosts for last year. Do you want to kind of give a little bit of history about Pedro?
Sure. So Petition is the host for a show called Encendido. He's hosting like at least 3 or 4 more shows, Sabios de Vida with the Office of Radio and Television. He has like worked with Univision, Telemundo. He's a great activist and he's always for the people. The way that we met was amazing because he was literally changing my life. We will share that later on with you guys. But I really am very happy and honored to have him on the team as a voice for not only the Latino community. He's from Puerto Rico, so he's really like somebody that brings like a neutral ground between the American people, the Black people, and the Latino people. They should not be separated like that. Again, we're all one and we don't want to keep on the division. And that's one thing that we learned from him. So very happy to have him on the team.
Thank you very much. And so again, we had this is last year, some of the highlights that we had. So of course, music performances, local and international artists, dance, ballet folklorico, salsa lessons, led by DCBX, DLM, art showcase, stream live art, mariachi, we're streamed live from Mexico. So a shout out to our sister in Mexico, Denise, for help organizing and curating that. We truly appreciate her. Food, we had a number of different things in terms of food, different workshops, altars, so on and so forth.
And they still were bringing traditional Mexican, authentic Mexican food right now.
That is correct. You got it. And just some highlights again that you can read at your leisure. And I'm gonna give out the link to this at the end via chat, and then I'll give everyone who's here in person that as well, in case you want to peruse a little bit longer. And then I'll just kind of get into like some of our partners and some of the artists who've supported us over the years. So of course, the Mexican Culture Institute, again, they gave us a place to live last year during COVID. I really appreciate that hospitality and support. Again, we mentioned earlier, Catrinas who will be leading off in both the Catrinas parade, and then also Enrique Guiness is one of the founders of this organization. Will be helping and leading off the team for the altars. So that's really exciting to have that. I really appreciate their support. Of course, Dolores Huerta, which was a very, very big, very big. Yes, it was a very big person that we've had last year. Thanks to Miss Lauren back here.
We were reading a book to comment this morning, and we had Dolores Huerta.
Yes, so if you don't know, she's one of the most renowned activists in this country for Latin rights and a number of different things surrounding that community. So And it was very, yes, it was a it was a great pleasure to have her speak live during the open the festival. So that's amazing. We had the wonderful Monica Ramirez. So do you want to kind of give some history a little bit, please? Yeah, of different folks. I'm gonna kind of go through some. So.
Okay. Well, no, Monica Ramirez is another great activist that is always fighting for women's rights and farm workers, and she is, oh my gosh, I don't know how to say, like, she's like just so awesome, and so like she started her activism when she was 17. So she's from California too. For Paula Mendoza, we share one of the videos that we will definitely share again. It's a story of a Mexican girl that is dealing with the deportation of her parents, and it's a real story actually. When the Pope came here a couple years ago, she was the girl that ran over and was like, and deportation, that little girl made it through security and jumped in, and she was like, I need to have my voice heard. So I guess we gotta learn from her, just take it and run. So we did that. Of course, Las Cafeteras, great group, they're from California, they're activists, and all these people that Cal's gonna go, so we don't take like a long time on them. Definitely wanted you guys take your time and check them out. Like, these are people that are like really ready to get down and dirty for the movement and do it with love and educate through art. They have Washington, and that's Belu. She is, we met her 5 years ago. They came in today, like, just volunteer their art, and from there, like, they've been attached to the hip to us and been part of the core team. So again, just being growing with everybody, from people from all over the world, and it's pretty cool. Conjunto Luca in Baltimore from the Creative Alliance. Also, beautiful music, and very diverse again. So La Lucha, with like different workshops on like zapateado, like traditional Mexican dance. And they're always again advocating for immigration reform and bringing families together. Con Mi Gente, another great organization that is advocating for immigration reform as well, and families they bring together. The Young Santa, Rostros, Sabios, Isabel Allende, which is my favorite writer. She is from Chile. And again, she is also one of the huge, what is it? She's the steward, or how do you call it, for the Young Center? She's an official like steward for the Young Center. So that even makes her my even more favorite.
So we showcase a video from her.
Ilana Glazer from, was it Two Broke Girls?
No.
Broad City. Oh my God, I know, Broad City.
And for Isabel and also Ilana, we showcased a video that was actually, they collaborated with the Young Center to produce. So we showcased that as well.
Well, Sabios and Catrina Associates, great lawyers, also give free consultations. Please share that widely with all your friends and family. They have a free consultation for whatever you need. Just go to their website and just say, I heard it with Pedro Viaggi, and you get a free consultation no matter what you need. Or where you at. Like, you can be in Mexico, you can be in El Salvador, it doesn't matter. They can help you out. Music with Sarah, so funny, like, we just met a lot of these artists that are like on the other side of the country that decided to be part of the festival virtually, and we are like working on, even if it's virtual this year, in the future, trying to bring them over here because they were so committed and they were so down to share their art with us. Conrado Bullock, another great Latino artist, he's from Honduras. He just got engaged as wife, so she has another wife fiance over there. Actually, bilingual dancers, they're from the Young Center. They're like Young Center also staff, they just wanted to participate and they created like a great performance. But if you want to skip it, that's fine. David Hotel, like a bunch of different artists that I definitely encourage you. Artists de la Rosa with our friend Hannah in Texas from Fredward Arts, Down DC, and different friends that I definitely want to take the time to share with all of you. later on, our friend from Marcela, but yeah, so this is just kind of like to show you that how in any way that you want to participate and chip in and be part of, we are thankful to have you.
So thank you, Ari, for that. So again, I'm just gonna just speed through some of these, kind of stop so you see the names. And again, these are folks who have really been like a huge support for the festival. Big up to Ursula Lee Wright of Arts Collaborative. So I will stop and say something about Petworth Art Collaborative. So we actually met them the first year that we were starting our festival, and they're two beautiful young ladies who have curated a number of different events for their community of Petworth. And I mean, different like from markets, street markets to different things that activate the kids and kind of just make it a safe community. And so every year they did this, the same year they started their Day of the Dead activation, and they did altar making workshops. They led a processional down Georgia Avenue. And so since that particular point, we've been kind of growing together and kind of working side by side to kind of assist each other. So we just really want to say thank you to them because we wouldn't be here without that support. So again, I'm just going to roll through quickly, almost out of here. He has the enchiladas.
We have the
But his goodies. Robert Hayward. Inspired Beauty Studio, who was really did all. Sorry, she was for Inspired Beauty Studio did all the makeup for our photo shoot that was done in Mexico, and also helped curate. There you go.
Yay! Jackie Reyes, awesome. She is the director for the Office of Latino Affairs for the DC administration. Great, awesome advocate, and she has all the resources in her office for whatever you need, education, immigration, food. Her office is open 24/7 to everybody, not only Latinos. I know it's the Office for Latino Affairs, but they really hold it down for the community. There you go.
Wait, bam. About Media. Lucy Moon.
Those designers are from Mexico. We did all because it was virtual, so all the production, like the mariachi, the pictures, everything was in Mexico. Those are models the world so participated and they were in Mexico. One thing that we like to do as well is that it doesn't matter what you do or how you participate, we like to recognize everybody for being part of it. No effort is small. Yes, Frida Larios. LAT Networks, very good friends with Jason, awesome people in the community, Catrinas, great photographer.
And then some of our sponsors at the bottom. So again, sorry, I know it's a little drawn out, but again, we just have gotten so much support over the years, so we didn't want to leave anybody out, and we get you guys understanding of who's been able to participate in the past. So, all right, so this kind of concludes this first stakeholder meeting. This is the premise of this is really just kind of give you guys a taste of what's to come. Let you know how and the different ways you potentially participate. I will open up for folks who are on the line if they have any questions, concerns that we didn't voice in this. Please let us know. If not, again, I'll put an email and you can hit us up on any of the social media platforms. We'll get back to you. We know that tonight was, it's raining. People got lots to do on a Monday, so we'll definitely. This is being recorded, so we'll get this out on all the resources, folks to kind of be able to watch and kind of tune into after the fact if they need any more information. And again, we'll do more of these probably weekly, kind of now that we are kind of in the last final phases of getting things ready for November. So again, hopefully next week, if you feel called to do so, come join us here at the Eaton. We'll post the location, the time, and the space. And if not, again, we'll do this live and we'll work out the kinks that we had to work out this week. But again, just want to say thank you to everyone who is on the live here, on the live broadcast. Thank you to everyone in the space. And if anybody in the chat wants to say anything, we'll give you guys a couple seconds to comment. Okay. Okay. So again, we'll let people kind of field that. Does anybody here have any questions, concerns? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Correct. That's a great point. So just to reiterate for those who couldn't hear, the question was asked via Lauren from Leo in the chat. What was going to be the kind of the backup plan for if DC goes back into like a full mask mandate and or shutdown, and how we basically get to come together safely, if at all, for this celebration? Okay. So I'll start by saying, of course, if we go into full shutdown mode, we will transition once again into a virtual setting. We will probably we'll locate a venue. Last year, we only had probably like a crew size of like 5 people, and we maintained social distance, and only 2 people on the microphone were Ari and Pedro. And so we'll look at that, and we'll still be able to reach out to all the same local businesses, all the same artists and so forth, and get them involved in a different way, you know, and we can always brainstorm how to do so. But again, last year we were able to kind of highlight 50 different organizations and artists. So that was beautiful, and it's something we definitely do again. Okay, so that's the first thing.
And if it's mass mandate, even for the parade, I'm sure that we can figure something out with the record, also for safety.
Correct.
Maybe like the shield.
Right. So. So when we originally started planning for this year, we weren't sure if one, we were going to do a festival just with everything going on, and then 2, if we were able to do a festival, what would be the safety precautions we would have to take, right? And so, for example, for the counting of the Catrinas for the Guinness Book of World Records, so part of that preliminary work would be the team going out beforehand and actually putting like marks, or where everyone can actually stand, you know, socially distanced apart, to be counted and to kind of prep for it. We would definitely probably encourage more folks, if not everybody, to come already made up versus having on-site staff kind of touching people's faces and so forth. For those, if we didn't have to, the plan was for the makeup artist to be in full shield and mask, and also be wearing gloves and making sure that we're not reusing the same brushes and paints and sponges for different individuals. What we also, and we're going to have to tap into the folks at the Guinness Book of World Records to kind of see what the criteria is to constitute a Catrina, because what might have to happen is we're going to have to incorporate a little bit of airbrushing, right? So that might mean that you might have to come in and we might give you a white face mask to wear, and that Catrina makeup might be painted over top of it, so that we're also maintaining that distance and that safety precaution, right? I know that at one point Ari had mentioned in thinking that we might also be working with a sponsor to get us some branded face shields. So maybe like, you know, with the kind of day-to-day kind of theme, maybe it's the florals or kind of like kind of a skull detail or something that we could incorporate so that we can kind of encourage people to be safe. Also going to be having hand sanitizer stations. We're going to be having different marshals within the parade, within the festival grounds, kind of encouraging folks to maintain a safe distance, and also making sure that we don't have, again, if we're in that mode, kind of like hot spots. So where, for example, it's November, everybody's gonna be cold, right? So we have to figure out how we're gonna make sure that people can stay warm without having to gather in one place. You know, I know a lot of different events that used to feature like bonfires and so forth kind of stayed away from that because they know everybody's gonna, you know, gather around the fire, right? So whether that's creating multiple spaces for folks to do that and kind of making sure that we have a sanitation team going behind and making sure that that's safe, that's also another feature. And then also in terms of the parade, And then folks who are people who are lining the parade just as spectators, again, having those markers in place and also having proper signage, passing out free masks, passing out hand sanitizer and so forth along the entire event to kind of encourage that, right? So that's the contingency plan. Of course, we'll all be kind of watching how this virus and all the different variants are going to be affecting our community, and making sure that we want to maintain, everyone's safety. And again, we don't want to add to the folks that we have to remember for this holiday. So we want to make sure we do it safe. So that was a great question. Appreciate you for relaying it. And thank you, Leo, for saying it in the chat. Was there any other questions that I could answer at this time? And if you don't have them now, you feel free to just shoot us a message. Not a big deal. All right. I think we're good. So we're going to sign up the live, guys. So we truly, truly appreciate you guys for taking the time to join us virtually. And again, all the folks in this room who came out of their homes in the rain and had to find parking around Eaton to be down here, we truly, truly appreciate you. I really hope you could understand me with this, but it's a precaution that we have to take. And if you have any questions, like I said, shoot it to us. We'll get back to you, and we really look forward to you joining the team. All right? So thanks, everyone. We appreciate you guys.